on it. Let's go over to Kumasi now, where some mothers have stormed the Kumasi Technical Institute in a frantic search for their sons after hearing the incident in which police fired rubber bullets and tear gas at students and teachers in the school. The women came to ascertain the safety of their children but could not find them. 14 students are said to have been hospitalized, while 35 others have been detained following last night's clash with the police. They have been speaking to Love FM's Erastus Asare-Donko, who was at the scene.
You can see these two women beside me. They are still looking for their awards. They cannot find them. Your friend is saying?
Your friend Eugene say.
What did you say?
18 years.
They say walk hospital.
I feel I make a so in school, I'm a hospital. Marco.
That's no feeling about
me home family. And the whole night meant to me, and my solar dream has said, in whom me ban.
What in your course on the other?
Tea, Kulaona, and Martiano be famous, say, Katie, for them see me banwama. Me sorry, I'm a feminine, but you're coming home and then a quack pen. And until me buy.
Yeah, but why? Well, almost in tears, she's telling me that she cannot find the son. He's 18 years old and she has not been able to sleep the whole night. She's been searching for her son. So she's going to the school to check and then move to the hospital to check. There are several of parents like that who are frantically searching for their wards. But this woman is also searching for a ward. Obanoe?
BC or BC. Form 2 or Form 2.
The friend say?
Richard Frimpong Manson.
Now, what's in here now?
Met in a nanajo, one in a mamma, me nana, one in a mamma, call us on a papania. And a mamma frame ye. So could go here. Namson and son and Obama, on whom say a baby, into a coffee or co school muntem. And Terra Pen was our friend me. And I'm so when you only me fear her or maha. Tempan and me jarry, and I'm sending you Katie, a man, I'm dead by my Katie, a Jumapay. 77, a be screen and Amoha. Come in Tapenso. I'm sending me Katie and Maquac of head, yes, see. And I send me by, I say, big hospital, New Hospital, my quarry show, my bonny dinner, my review when na me not. And I said, Nanam, Hayo, Manana Intrana, Manamha, Nana Intra.
What's in your course on that? Send our feeling.
Your course set me feel some may permanent, me who not. And a pen I'm telling radio, so I shall from Katie at the SC, and then the Panam Jarry. I'm some baby from Nana, may buy a swimming who not. So I find.
That's it. So what she's saying is that the son is a Form 2 student doing building and construction. She's been searching everywhere. She's gone to the hospital. She cannot find him. So she's going to the school to find out whether she'll see him. She's been a former worker at the Kumasi Technical Institute, and she will do everything possible to find the son. So there are a lot of family members, parents who are coming in here at the moment trying to look for their wards at the moment. It's not clear because we do have, the police have confirmed there are 35 students in police custody. There are 14 on admission at the Annuum Clinic. We do understand some of them are in other hospitals as well.
Erastus Asare-Donko there with some obviously worried parents there. Well, it isn't clear what triggered the confrontation, but reports suggest security personnel chased the students from the Babaya Sports Stadium into their dormitories amid firing of tear gas. The police initially declined to comment, though enraged school authorities quoted them as saying the student had been cited for rioting. Some of the students described how the incident unfolded.
Well, it's daybreak here at the Kumasi Technical Institute after students clashed with police yesterday. And this morning, students are showing me how they escaped beating by armed policemen inside the dormitories. As you look in here, this is the place where students actually had to take away the louver blades, break open, and use this entrance to go out. Some of them had to climb up and jump. Those who were upstairs had to jump from the 2-story or 3-story building. I have a student here. Let me find out from him what happened yesterday.
Yesterday, let's take it. If I say I'm not Tom free, if I auto mobile, I'm the good guy saying you get inside the dome. Oh, by the time I buy, then you say you're one year. By letting a very rare dome, almost 30 free, so I top on. You was about sneakers down. Like people a foot top on, almost 6 down, Mujan. Until the year Shasha, no more Buama, Fiti, Dom Nina, Money Bedri, and your dome. Tomorrow, it's one, it's no. A bobo getting a CMB and a CMB. So, till now later on a senior B, or then a night, a bobo glass in Munina, or then a nine. A bobo cantana, a pea, a buoy, till buoy in your advantage yet. A joining in your share foodness, and see a share foodness be 2 hours. The share foodness be 2 hours and Sunday. It may escape crab dining. Your bias, your dining, or my residing in.
Well, and what he's saying is that they were asked by the police to enter their dormitories. They thought it was okay to go into the dormitories, but then when they entered the dormitories, they saw their fellow students escaping from the 3rd floor. And so they were being beaten inside the dormitories. And so they had to create this hole here and be able to escape onto the field and stay there for 2 hours. So lots of accounts here, and we've seen blood stains as well in some of the dormitories upstairs, indicating the manhandling of some of the students who are currently on admission at the NUM clinic.
Okay, so that is Erastus Saridonko there. Today, the students have been demonstrating and calling for their detained colleagues to be released. The principal of the school, Dr. Abekwapre, has been explaining how the police defied logic, according to him, and invaded their school.
Abibio Express. It was from there that the police began to attack them, to stop them from reaching the route or so, as I hear. And they came as far as to the children's park, where some of them were arrested. So they ran away and joined another group that was coming through the main road from Amakum traffic to the Zongo area, the railway line. And in their numbers, naturally they blocked the road. So I'm told that a police officer came to pass by and he asked them to disperse. But in that mood, naturally, it would be difficult for instructions to be heard by all people and to be acceded to by all of them, and so they did not. So he called for reinforcement, and the moment you call for reinforcement, naturally, it connotes a dangerous situation which must go and coil, and so they came, and the students, when they saw the police, the siren blowing, according to the police themselves, they rather went wild and were jubilating the more. So some of them, the police vehicle driving into them, attempted to throw stones, and some threw stones. And so it became a confrontation. So at the point the police started firing rubber bullets and tear gas and whatever. It happened at Waik Junction there. So they ran away to the school. And when children run away to their school, it tells you that I have stopped doing what I am doing. I have obeyed you as to what you say I should do. And so please, my hands are up. So they came to the school. And the unfortunate thing happened that the police rather decided not to stop at Wayek and go back after the student had obeyed their instruction. But they followed them to the school, firing tear gas and rubber bullets and even live bullets. And they went to the dormitory to beat those who didn't even know what was going on outside. I'm told they went to the dining hall to attend the food that was really available for boarding students. And so it was a terrible situation. A lot of them were arrested and some were wounded.
Well, that is the principal of the school there, KTI. Earlier, Asante Regional Police PRO ASP Mohammed Tanko spoke with Kojo Youngson on the Super Morning Show on the incident.
We have 35 of the students now with us, including those who were arrested in the afternoon.
So explain to us how the police ended up in the dormitories and how they were able to identify those who were involved in the disturbance and those who were not.
You know, a lot of students participated in this. And I told you we arrested some where the incident happened. Some of them ran into the campus after they had perpetrated such acts, and police pursued them and had some of them arrested. According to the officers, some of them had some bands on their hair. Those made it easier for them to pick those ones and arrested them. Yeah.
So everybody who was arrested had a band on their head?
Not everybody who was arrested.
Yeah. So how were they able to determine?
You have to understand that when incidents like this happened, we cannot be 100% sure that all those who will be arrested will be part of those who perpetrated the act. That's when we have to get that straight, because we will not use. We will not. We don't have. It is not magic that we're going to use, but we ensure that we identified most of the guys who perpetrated the act, and in so doing, one or two persons might be arrested who may not have done anything wrong. That's why, in the end, they will be screened, and those who did not perpetrate any act will be allowed to go.
Are any of the police officers involved injured?
Yes, 5 of them. I said it earlier that 5 of them got injured, and 3 police vehicles were smashed.
Okay, tell us the nature of these injuries.
They were not very serious injuries. They were minor injuries.
Okay, so the blood on the walls in these dormitories are from the students?
Yeah, I have not seen the blood on those walls.
Yes, we've seen the photographs. Our journalist has been there. So yes, there is blood on these walls. Can you tell us what will happen to those who have been arrested?
We will have to subject them to some screening, and if it comes out that all of them were involved, then the law will take its course against them. And if some of them too are innocent persons, those persons will be released to go, and no charge will be preferred against them.
Okay. Now, you're aware that 14 of the students are in hospital. Are you aware of the circumstances that have led to them being hospitalized?
I have not received any reports of 14 of them being in hospital, but I think this is a valuable information that you've just given. So we will detail investigators to go to those hospitals, even if you can help us with some of the hospitals, so that we will go and identify those students and also see the extent of their injury, and all this will help in the investigations that will be conducted.
ASP Mohammed Tanko is police PRO in Kumasi. They're speaking to Kojo Youngson on the Super Morning Show this morning. Well, the Education Minister, Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, who visited the school this morning, condemned the incident, and he said it would be investigated.
Incident, very bad incident has occurred on the campus of KTI, and we just have to get to the bottom of it. The police have been inside KTI, inside students' dormitory, shot at them, shot at masters. We have to listen to the side of the police. I have seen live bullets. I've seen rubber bullets. So I don't know if there was a situation then in KTI that necessitated live bullets. So we'll find out. That's what I want to do.
Has any educational protocols been broken?
What do you mean by educational protocol?
I mean, in the conduct of the police in dealing with such a situation.
If you don't find out, can you talk? No, I can't talk before I find out. I'll listen to the side of the police, and then we'll take it from there.
Education Minister Matthew Poku Prempe there speaking to that matter. Well, we put this on Facebook. What do you think about it? Of course, what do our viewers on Facebook think about this situation? Very soon we'll try and touch base with Rastas Asari Donko, our reporter there in Ashanti region, to see if there has been any update on this matter. But let me read to you some of the comments that have come up on our social media platform, and I'm talking about Facebook. So Kwame Danso says technical students always want to prove stubborn anywhere they go, just for the other schools to see that they are on top. So allow the Koti people, talking about the police, and that's a slang for them here in Ghana, to do their job. Atom Yao says the school authority have the sole right to have controlled them, but they stood a watch until chaos were out of hand. This is what they're teaching the wards in the school. Just common games brought all this SMH. You're shaking your head. Atom Yao. TKO says this wasn't police brutality. It was police doing their work. They don't carry batons as a fashion accessory. It is meant for situations like this. The students had to be stopped, and if tear gas doesn't work, batons are used. A number of you there think that the police is justified. Francis Wolanya Pampa says, in your next post, ask if students' brutality is also accepted, and what do you expect when police decide to pelt the when students decide to pelt the police with stones simply because they were asked to take an alternative route in order not to disrupt road users? Is that what they are taught in school? No policeman in his right senses will fire tear gas and rubber bullets for no apparent reason. They also have immediate or distant relatives whose wards would be in school. They are humans, and blood runs through them. I don't think you expected them to flee from the scene when they were met with minimum force, and in a situation like this, 10% casualty is allowed. Interesting point you make. Joshua Freeman Osato says, all this bad mentality towards technical school in this country have gradually chopped in the mind of some Ghanaian and students. Whenever a case is concerning them, people start to condemn them. We are the same people who don't trust the police. So Joshua, you're making a point for the students. You think that there's a perception out there about technical students. Emmanuel Kwekugansa says, as police, you are a peacemaker, and even to prevent issues of this nature, this is clear violation of human rights. If they have even violated the law, they don't deserve this treatment. Ghana police should know better in this 21st century. My final comment will be Kofi Nkrumah says the police should be checked, but more importantly, KTI should be checked as well. I've witnessed some of their brutalities, and if you were the victim's parent, I'm sure you'd be thanking the police right now. Both parties are wrong, and we shouldn't choose sides. Those referring to KTI students as children, you're funny. That's a very interesting point to make, and that's a very interesting way to end the comment as well, because it cuts across, deals with the police and deals with the student as well. Let's stay in Kumasi, but now we're looking at health. Well, doctors at the Kumasi Teaching Hospital say they don't want to be used as instruments of morbidity and mortality. They have expressed outrage in a strong-worded letter to the facility's CEO following the death of 5 persons due to oxygen shortage. The doctors are complaining about the absence of basic working tools, which they say is creating psychological problems for them. Joining me on the telephone line is my colleague from Ishwa FM, Ohiming Teria, to tell us more on the matter. Hello, Ohiming, can you hear me? Hello, Ohiming, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Now, you spoke to some of the patients. What have they been telling you about the situation? Hello, Ohime. Ohime, if you can hear us, would you give us some details if there has been any update on the situation at the Kumasi Teaching Hospital? Well, it's difficult to hear Ohime Nteria. We'll try and raise him back on the line. But Chief Executive Officer of the hospital, Dr. Joseph Akbalu, has denied the content of the letter written by the doctors. He spoke earlier on the Super Morning Show, again with Kojo Yangson.
I just want to say the statements are not completely true, and it is something we all have to discuss. We are doing our best to make companionship going, and then I would like you, the FM stations, or to come to conference, we sit down, we send you to, then we shall all understand what it means.
Okay, so help us understand which parts are not true. He says that 5 people died in one day because of a lack of oxygen. Is that true?
Please, I cannot confirm that because I don't know how many people died in Kumasi that time.
Okay, so you can't confirm whether it is true or not?
No.
Okay.
We have histopathology report which will confirm the real cause of death.
Okay. So he also says that the oxygen supply is regularly cut off in the emergency center, and this leads to deaths. Is that true or not?
When your people come, they will verify and know the truth, and then we can all talk about it.
Sorry, can you say that again, please?
When some of your people have come to Kumasi, we can all look into the system and know what it is. Then we can.
So you want us? Okay.
Or yes, not.
Okay.
Yes, I want you
want us to come there.
Yes.
Before you can tell us whether it is true that oxygen supplies get cut off.
It's cut off, and then we can know if it is true. What are the reasons? If it is not true, why are they saying?
Okay. I mean, you can tell us whether it's true or not, and then we can come and see what the reasons are. But can you tell us now whether it's actually the truth?
We have oxygen at Kumasi, please.
There is no shortage of oxygen at Kumasi.
We have our plants producing, and we are buying. We are buying about 300,000 Ghana cedis a month to supplement.
And is it enough? Do you run out?
That is what we have buying. When there is a need to increase, we increase. When there is a need not to increase, we do. So we are monitoring.
So are there patients who sometimes do not get oxygen?
Somebody report, then I will find out.
Is it true that patients in the emergency have to pay for drugs and blood before they receive them?
Please, no.
That is also not true.
That is also not true because we have set a system when accident, you can get accident and you won't be dead. You won't have money in your pocket. So far, do you say they should pay? Wait. No.
Okay, so this is something that you can vouch for, that your frontline staff are not charging people money before giving them blood or emergency drugs. You can vouch for this in spite of...
We don't charge for blood. We only collect money for processing.
Yes,
and
that processing fee.
That processing fee because they are autonomous. But you see, if there is emergency, you call the head of the director that I needed this blood and you go for it.
So what you are saying is that you are able to vouch for your frontline staff, that none of them have been collecting money before making blood or emergency drugs available.
The emergency is for 24 hours. After that, then it is determined. So, please, in my system there are human factors. So I cannot speak for all. But what I know, that's what I'm speaking of. So please, we are waiting so that we all speak the truth.
So that's the CEO of the Kumasi Teaching Hospital explaining the situation to Kojo Yangsen on the Super Morning Show earlier today. We've got Ohiming on the line now. Ohiming, what can you tell us from what you're gathering so far?
Yes, Gifty, today management of the Kumasi Teaching Hospital met the leadership of the Kumasi Doctors Association, who in recent times especially have been very critical of some management decisions. And at the meeting, which lasted for almost 4 hours, management had the opportunity to explain to the doctors some of the decisions taken. So after the meeting, we had the opportunity to engage management members on the issue in the presence of the doctors who have been very critical of management decisions. For instance, on the supply of oxygen, the hospital management insists that, yes, they have done a lot to improve on the supply of oxygen to the Kumasi Teaching Hospital. As we speak now, they have 3 obsolete plants scheduled, expected to produce oxygen to the hospital, but unfortunately, two of them have been operating, but they have also been operating under capacity. So out of 800 cubic meters of oxygen needed, the facilities are able to supply only 300, with additional 250 being sourced from private sources. So the management say they have a challenge with the oxygen situation, but that notwithstanding, they've also placed an advertisement in the media calling for competitive bidding for the installation of a new oxygen plant. So before they are able to install the new plant, the doctors and other caregivers will have to do with what they have at the hospital now. But I spoke to the head of the mechanical engineering unit, Mr. Gregory Peters. He indicated that over the period, it's been a very difficult moment for those at the engineering department, taking into consideration that the lifespan of every oxygen plant is supposed to have been 15 years. But what they have at the Kumasi Teaching Hospital is over 20 years. That puts a lot of pressure on them because it breaks down intermittently, and they have to improvise with some parts from Swami Magazine because the parts are not available in the shops. So that has been the difficulty for them. But, management say on the issue of for instance, the cash and carry, they insist it took the right decision to demand upfront payment for some services at the emergency center. And they insist those decisions are justified. The doctors have suggested charges point to a return to cash and carry. But authorities, however, insist that the measure is only to ensure that hospital continues to provide tertiary services to the public. I talked to the public relations manager, Mr. Kwame Frimpong, who did indicate that management has explained the reasons behind the continued charging of those fees, and the doctors have also agreed that it's the best way to ensure that the hospital continue to be in service. So, Gifty, it was a fruitful meeting as put out by the management of Kumasi Teaching Hospital. But unfortunately, we were not given the opportunity to speak to the doctors because they had already agreed that management, for instance, the public relations officer should speak on the behalf of the doctors and the hospital at the same time.
Terry, I will come to you, I'm sure, later on Joy News Prime for some more details on this. That is Ohim there in the Ashanti region telling us what's happening with the Kumasi Teaching Hospital. Sports is next. Please stay.